Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Truth Threads, where we unravel the darkest yarns of the unknown. Tonight, I bring you a tale that will grip your soul like iron rails in the dead of night. It's called The Midnight Express. Imagine this: a lone traveler, a forgotten station, and a train that shouldn't exist. Buckle up, if you dare. But remember, once you board, there's no getting off until the end. It was a stormy autumn evening in 1987 when I found myself stranded at Eldridge Junction, a crumbling old platform on the outskirts of a forgotten town. The last scheduled train had derailed miles away due to the floods, or so the ticket master grumbled before locking up and vanishing into the rain. I was soaked to the bone, my briefcase clutched like a lifeline, waiting for a miracle. That's when I heard it, a distant rumble like thunder rolling through the hills. Headlights pierced the fog, and there it was, an ancient locomotive, black as midnight, hissing steam like a living beast. No markings, no number, just "The Express" etched faintly on the side. I waved frantically, and to my relief it slowed with a screech that echoed like a scream. The conductor, a gaunt man in a faded uniform, tipped his hat without a word. His eyes, they were hollow, like pits staring into nothing. "All aboard," he rasped, his voice like gravel under wheels. I climbed in, grateful for the warmth. The carriage was dimly lit by gas lamps, the seats worn velvet, smelling of dust and something metallic. Blood? No, I told myself, just my imagination after a long day.
There were only a handful of passengers. An old woman knitting in the corner, her needles clicking like bones. A businessman buried in his newspaper dated from 1942. A young couple whispering sweet nothings, their faces pale under the light. And a child, no more than 10, staring out the window with unblinking eyes. I settled in, the train lurching forward into the night. Rain lashed the windows, blurring the world outside into a void. At first it was peaceful. The rhythmic clack-clack of the tracks lulled me. But then the whispers started, faint at first, like wind through cracks. "Turn back," they murmured. "This isn't your stop." I glanced around. No one was speaking. The old woman smiled at me, her teeth yellowed and sharp. "First-time rider?" she croaked. I nodded, uneasy. "We all are, dear, until we're not." The train picked up speed, faster than any I'd known. Trees whipped by in shadows, but something felt wrong. No stations passed, no lights from towns, just endless darkness. I checked my watch. It was frozen at midnight. Panic stirred as I noticed the businessman. His newspaper, the headline spoke of a tragic crash on this very line decades ago. "All souls lost," it read. I blinked, and the page yellowed before my eyes. I stood, heart pounding, and moved to the next carriage. Empty seats, but echoes of laughter faded as I entered. In the corner, a mirror reflected not my face, but a twisted version, eyes sunken, skin decaying. I recoiled, bumping into the child. "You're like us now," he giggled, his voice echoing unnaturally. "The train collects the lost."
Desperate, I ran toward the engine, passing the couple. They weren't whispering anymore. They were fused together, bones intertwined in a grotesque embrace. The old woman's knitting, it was unraveling into threads of flesh. "Help!" I screamed, but the conductor blocked my path. "No refunds," he sneered, his face melting into a skull. The truth hit me like a freight train. This was no ordinary ride. The Midnight Express was a ghost locomotive, doomed to loop eternally, harvesting souls from the living who dared board. The storm hadn't stranded me, it had summoned me. I was dead, killed in that derailed train earlier, my body left behind. This was the afterlife's cruel joke, replaying the horror forever. As the train hurtled toward a bottomless abyss, I realized, you're on it too. Listening to this story, you've boarded. Feel that chill? That's the conductor's breath. The end isn't coming, it's already here. Thank you for riding with Truth Threads. If you survived the suspense, like, subscribe, and share your own eerie encounters. Sweet dreams, or whatever's left of them.